It's your boy, the host with the most that do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy, I'm Chris the Don One. Welcome to another fabulous episode of Based on a True Story podcast. It's your host, your moderator. Feel free to hit the subscription button, notification bell, share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this YouTube channel as well as this live stream active in the YouTube algorithm, because we all are well aware of this by now. The YouTube algorithm know of me, but it just doesn't really know me. How y'all living? How y'all living? How y'all living? Now, this is an unscheduled live stream because basically I was going to do this in a video format, but things have happened where unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do a video on this later today. So I decided, you know what? Let me do a quick live stream, tell y'all guys my thoughts, my opinions about it. And you guys, once the live stream is over with, you guys can comment in the comment section. Now, for those who come in this live stream, be aware that if I don't read your message, it's either one or two things. Either I'm in the middle of something when I'm talking, or, I just haven't seen it. But never fear, I will read all messages at the end of this presentation. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. And today's topic, we have a doozy. Now, this has been blowing up on the YouTube timeline, the social media timeline. Everyone has done picked sides. Everyone has picked struggles. And what I'm referring to and talking about is Anton went on, I think his name is Anton Daniels, went on Corey Holcomb's podcast, 5150 podcast. And I guess it was going to have some type of debate or discussion, whatever the case may be. And it escalated into an all-out argument, and some crazy stuff happened. And ultimately, everyone, including myself, thought that after, they have, both sides have reset it, that they was going to continue with the debate or the interview or whatever. And, it just got tripped up all over again. And Corey Holcomb's kicked out Anton Daniels. Okay. So if you're not well aware of this, I will give you guys a brief description on what happened. The meat and potatoes portion of where we are right now. Okay. So basically, Corey Holcomb, doing usual Corey Holcomb. I will say this about Corey Holcomb. I like him as a comedian. I do like the 5150 podcast. But I like it when it's just Corey and, they talk about the subjects, they chop up the subjects, and Corey, gives his thoughts and opinions on each subject. I don't like it when it's in an interview format. And they don't really interview people on the 5150 podcast. But I like it in that format because you get the very best of Corey Holcomb. Look, Corey Holcomb is not an interviewer. He's not a reporter. He's not a podcast host. I think the best you get out of Corey Holcomb, if you have him react to something like a video or what someone has said, and then he will put his 2 cents. Now, I will also say this about Corey Holcomb. You can't take everything you can't take everything Corey Holcomb says as the gospel. Okay. You just can't just go by whatever Corey Holcomb says. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. Corey is an entertainer. Okay. So when he talks, he's pretty much on the mindset of entertaining you guys. Okay. So you can't really take a lot of things serious what Corey Holcomb says. He's just trying to throw his little jokes in, get his little entertainment on, and he's out. Okay. If you watch Corey Holcomb live, what you see Corey Holcomb do in a concert is pretty much on that same type of wave thinking type situation like he does 5150. Okay. So if you haven't seen it, there's clips floating all over the place. I suggest just watch the whole video entirely instead of just watching chopped up clips. I think they were, I don't think they was there then maybe what, an hour and 10 minutes, maybe more, but I suggest just watch the whole video instead of watching clips, because if you watch clips, you're gonna come to the conclusion of being one-sided. You're just gonna hear one side of somebody and not the other side. And I don't care if you are a Corey Holcomb fan. I don't care if you're an Anton Daniels fan. Now, quick on Anton Daniels, I've seen some of his stuff. The morning show, the Millionaire morning show. I've seen some clips of Anton Daniels. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anton Daniels is way left. He's a hardcore Republican. He's in the mindset of, he's not, even though he speaks for Black people, it comes off very abrasive, and it comes narrow-minded and one-sided. Okay. I don't believe Anton, when he starts thinking, he thinks of both sides, of both parties, not Republican and Democrat, just in the Black community. You have the haves and the have-nots in every community, but it's really very effective in the Black community. And I think Anton Daniels speaks for the haves of the Black community and not the have-nots, okay? And, when you talk to him about the people who, unfortunately, are not the haves, they're more so have-not, he will always come with some type of excuse that is basically their fault, is their problem. I'm not saying in every situation it's not their fault, but also in every situation is not their fault at all. Okay. Or I think I said that right. Okay. So, basically, so it started off as they was talking about politics, and, Anton Daniels is trying to educate Corey that, early in Black history, we were the Republican parties. The Republican Party represented us, which is true. Anton is telling him the truth. I'm not sure if Corey knew that, or Corey was just playing around being an entertainer, trying to get some comedy out of it. But I'm going to assume Corey did not know that because of his response. And basically, Corey is saying that, playing this politic game is not going to help the African American community. And voting is not going to help either. And Anton was basically saying, if you vote in your community, who represents your community, they go to the White House, your senators and the undercard of politics. If you want to have that type of mindset that you don't want to vote for the president, okay, everyone understands that. But as far as your mayor, your governor, your councilman, those are public figures that really represent you. So Anton was basically saying, look, I don't necessarily 1000% agree with you about not voting, but if you're not going to vote, I understand about not voting for the president. But as far as voting for people for your community that represent you, you should vote. So it was like, to that point, to that effect, there was pretty much on that point. And then Corey went into, well, it's easy for you, Anton, to have that position because you don't really attack white people or representatives for white people, and you kiss the ass of white people. I will say this. I wouldn't have went that far saying Anton Daniels kiss ass, but I will say this. Anton Daniels really don't push up to the white caucus or the white Republicans. He really don't have, he don't really have the same energy like he has for, Democrats or black people in general. It's just the energy is kind of off. It's a little different. Okay. But does he have an opinion? Yes, he has an opinion, but it's not the same energy like it is when it's the other way around, which I get to that point, but I don't believe Anton Daniels kissed the ass of white Republicans and the white caucus. Okay. So Anton Daniels fell back a little bit, and then Anton Daniels saying, well, Corey, you suck the dick of black people, placating these types of settings, these type of situations. Like, you come off as, I'm for black people, but what you're really doing is placating to the black community. Now, I wouldn't have went as far as saying that, just like I wouldn't have went as far as saying Anton Daniels kissed the ass of white people. I wouldn't have went as far as saying, Corey, you suck the D out of the black community. I definitely not would have went those ways. I would have kept it very professional, even though, even in the beginning of this argument, Corey was really in his bag, okay? And you have to look at it one or two ways. Either you look at it as, okay, Corey just being Corey, he's a comedian, so he's trying to make this live stream very entertaining by calling me everything outside my real name. Just calling me this, saying I'm that, this, that, and the third, okay? So you either just play along with it, or you do like Anton, you like my mom always say, you punch a bully in his mouth, because a bully don't expect you to punch them in the mouth. And that's what, literally speaking, what Anton Daniels did. He punched Corey in the mouth by saying that you suck the D out of the black community. And then that's when all hell broke loose. Now, I will say this. A lot of people say, well, is kissing white ass is not the same as sucking the D from the black community, okay? And if you believe that, that's fine. But I look at it as, thanks for the thumbs up, I look at it as insults, okay? Like, if I insult, you can't tell somebody how they should respond or react to what you say. Like, if you kick me in my leg, you can't get mad at me if I just punch you in your mouth. Or if I kick you, if I, push you, if I push you, and then you turn around and you karate chop me on the side of my neck, I can't get mad of your response. So I believe like this, all love and, it's fair games. Tick for tat. Okay, you go low, I go to hell. Okay, so you can't necessarily use that excuse of, well, he shouldn't have said that he shouldn't have told Corey that he sucks the D out of the black community. Well, Corey shouldn't have said he kisses the ass of white people. What's the old adage? Don't start nothing, it won't be nothing. Okay, you can't demand for people to respect you when you don't respect people. I'm a full believer of giving you the same type of energy. So, for Corey to take that ground, I understand he's upset, but at the same time, you started it, I'm going to end it. Now, people also said that, I guess Corey had a pinky moment where he got up, sat right next to Anton, looked dead square in his eyes and said, say it again, say it again, say it again, say it. Ooh, say it again. I dare you. I double dare you. Say I suck the dick of black people. Say it again. Say it again, motherfucker. People take that point as, well, he didn't say it again. Look, as a grown man, I'm not I'm not a toy. I'm not a PlayStation. I'm not an answering machine. You don't tell me to say something I already said. Why do I have to do that? I understand that you upset, but I don't understand, well, Corey won it because he didn't say it again. Just like when people say, well, Anton challenged him outside, Corey didn't want none of that, when he challenged him outside. I don't give you points for that either. I don't give you points for sitting next to somebody begging them, please, 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 say it again, say it again, say it again. I dare you, I double dare you. But I also don't give you points for challenging somebody outside, because neither one of them wanted to fight. It has nothing to do with age. It has more to do with a lot to lose. Because, if, let's just say Anton, they go outside, Anton hits him, Corey, and then it ends up damaging Corey, Corey can sue Anton. Or if Corey slugs him while they were sitting there, then Corey is responsible. Anton can sue Corey. And Corey has been through a lot. I don't think a lot of people understand the history of the 5150 podcast. They went through something similar like this when they had Ari Spears, and there was a guy named Zoe, and Zoe just hauled off, hit Ari Spears in the face, and ended up Corey ended up getting sued by Ari Spears, or the representative of the legal team of Ari Spears. Okay, and that did not look good for the brand 5150. Didn't look good for sponsors. Sponsors didn't want to be around that mess. Okay, so I don't believe neither one of them wanted any part of a fight. Not because they were scared of one another, but they were scared of what will happen after the fight, meaning a legal issue. Okay? Now, I don't care what Corey says. Corey has bodyguards. I don't care what Anton says. Anton has bodyguards. Both security teams are not going to allow these guys to fight because there's so much to risk and lose by them, whatever. Okay. So after that, when they started calming down, I felt like Anton should have just told Corey, look, which he did. He said, look, I apologize if you was offended by me saying that you sucked the D out of black people. But he should have also said, hey, man, instead of just saying you said some crazy stuff, you should have just said what made you say he sucked the D of black people. You walking around here saying that I kiss ass for the white people. And I felt like, and Anton knew why he said it in the first place. Corey knew why Anton said that he sucked the D of black people, because he's trying to get back at him because he said that he kissed ass of the white people. One thing I notice about comedians have a short fuse. They have a short fuse and a long memory. And if you get the best of a comedian, they're not going to let it go. No matter if you apologize, if you, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I forgot your comment down there. I'm sorry, bro. It doesn't matter if you apologize, if you say, hey, look, man, I'm sorry, if y'all squabbled up and y'all squabbled up, and after the fight, everyone thinks it's over with, but it's not over with, because Corey's mad that you said that he sucked the dick of the black community. And he's really now people are gonna say, hey, look, in the street, we got a cold, man. We got a cold. And see, this is where, and I hate this when we do this as black people. we pick and choose what's code and what's not code. What's the rules, what's not the rules. Because everyone's talking about, well, there's a code in the street. You don't tell no black man that he sucked dick. Okay? I'm pretty sure you don't tell a black man that he kissed ass of white people. But I digress. So everyone picks and chooses this code to say, to hang their hat on, like, hey, it's a code. You just don't say that. But now after that, you know, Corey's still thinking, Anton's trying to get back into the debate. Corey didn't want none of that. Corey still wanted to get his lick back because Anton said that he sucked the dick of black people. And it carried on through the whole presentation to the point to where, which I feel like this is a sucker move. This is a bitch-ass sucker move, personally. You're going to kick the man out? You're going to kick Anton out because you just couldn't get your get back? You couldn't capitalize off of what Anton said about you? Because you're scared that if you look at Corey is just sitting back in the cut thinking like, okay, if I say this about him, he's going to say this about me. So that's why he kicked him out. And as he's kicking him out, he doesn't give him an opportunity to speak, even though he did speak momentarily. But at that time, Corey said, just get out. You're not going to just lounge around after a man kicks you off their show. It's his show, right? So as, Anton's leaving, Corey's talking about, that's why you cheating on your wife and you brought your side chick. That's some bitch ass shit, Corey. Anybody that, to me, if you gotta say who won and who lost on this, I didn't see anything that made either one of them the favorite. But when you kick somebody, it's bad enough that you kick somebody because you couldn't get the best of them, and you're going into this little kid mode. Well, I'm taking my basketball home with me. Good luck trying to play basketball on the court without my ball. It's bad enough you kick them off because, and I'm pretty sure people are going to make excuses for Corey. But then when you want to throw something that you want to throw an accusation that you don't have no proof about. You have no proof about. And that already you got content creators on YouTube talking about, man, Anton Daniels got a side chick. Well, what, they got that ish. We don't know if this girl is his side chick. Corey doesn't even know that this girl is his side chick. Apparently, this girl knows Anton Daniels' wife. So now people are saying, oh well, Anton is a swinger and his wife allows it. Okay, where are we getting all of this information from? We can't confirm nor deny any of these accusations. And I feel like when you're trying to prove these accusations or disprove these accusations, guess what you're doing? You're no longer talking about what took place on the 5150 Club and why Corey is still bitter about that. So I feel like it will hurt Corey getting guests. And I said earlier, the 5150 podcast is better when there's no guests. When it's Darlene and the guys and Corey, and they're talking about different topics and things like that, I think it's best that way. As far as bringing a guest on, I don't see the 5150 podcast set up that way because you have to have someone that is, someone that's not going to be that's going to antagonize, or someone that's going to ask halfway different questions, that's going to ask decent questions. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, Corey's not going to allow Darlene to do it. He's not going to allow anyone to do it. He's going to take the mic and he's going to, ask questions and be funny about it, okay? Because that's his mindset. And there's nothing wrong with that mindset. But to me, if you really want to have a one-on-one, if you want to have a real interview, you have to have someone in that's going to ask questions. You dig? And, to me personally, both of them took an L because this is a black eye for both of them. I don't know how you can turn this and flip this into a W. You know, I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna figure out how to flip it and turn it into a W. And like I said, uh, I like Corey more than Anton. But let's just be real about it. I think Anton looked really, really bad, particularly the last 5 minutes of this thing. When you just kick this man because you can't get the best out of him. You couldn't rattle his cage. So Anton, I mean, that's why I felt like Corey looked bad. Now, as far as when it started, I'm not picking a side because I feel like, look, both of them really didn't want to fight. Let's just be real, 1,000% real. Neither one of these guys wants to fight because they got so much to lose to fight. You dig what I'm saying? So it doesn't mean that they were scared of one another. I don't believe Corey is scared of Anton. I don't think Anton is scared of Corey. Okay? But they just got too much to lose. These are very successful black men. These were guys off the street. Yeah, I could probably see them, fighting one another. But yeah, I don't know. But then it went so left, and now we're talking about, does Anton Daniels have a side chick? And this is just an agent of chaos of Corey. Hey, let's not talk about how bad I looked on the show. Let's throw some stuff out there that we don't know if it's true or not. That Anton is sleeping around with his wife and this is what happens when you say things and you have no proof. You don't even know what you're saying. Cause the next day they talked about it on Anton's show, and Anton was showing videos and pictures of the two women together. This woman has somebody, okay? Anton is married. So for us to leap to that conclusion that this is his side chick, we don't even have proof. And now we're leaping further off the edge, talking about, oh, well, they're swinging. We don't know. We don't know if they're swinging or not, okay? But once again, when you're an agent of chaos, see how we're shifting away from what took place on the show, and now we're talking about if Anton Daniels is cheating on his wife, or they have a swinging type relationship, an open type. I would say an open type relationship, but hey, whatever. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about. Guys, tell me what you think about this in the comments section, and I will see you guys later. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Deuces.